Well, it's been said that it takes a big man to admit when he was wrong. And well, today, I'm that big man.
You can see the writing on the pavement.
Well, what's up, everyone? As you can see, we are on the first leg of our apology tour. I have my tour shirt on right now anyway, but before we get into that, I do want to say that if you like content creators that are humble and willing to abase themselves and throw themselves at their audience's feet, humbly asking for forgiveness, well, this is the channel that you're going to want to sign up for. So if you've not subscribed yet, please do so right now. I would certainly appreciate it if you did. So what is this apology tour all about? What in the world is going on? Well, I've got to come clean. I need to say that I'm sorry, because I didn't think it was going to come to this, but it has. I made some predictions not too long ago, actually, that this idea of a waitlist was just the idea of Sideshow jerking around their customers, pushing people to FOMO and panic about figures that weren't necessarily actually going to sell out, but it was just a sales tactic. But here we are, as of the recording of this video, we're in the middle of September, and it appears that the idea of waitlisted items is real. So if you took my advice and you said, you know what, I'm going to take his advice and just hold out hope that these things are going to come back in, there's going to be plenty of them, and you ended up missing out, well, this sincere, heartfelt apology is for you. But you know what? It's not just you that may have been affected. No. It is also me. Because there are some certain things that I have missed out on because I said there is no way certain figures are going to go waitlist and never come back in stock. And yes, of course, I'm talking about Sideshow Collectibles. And before you even get into it, I know that there are other places for me to go and score them. But a majority of people, and the safest way to go and get some of these figures is through authorized distributors and authorized resellers, that being Sideshow Collectibles and your local comic book shops, potentially in North America, if that's where you're at. And I'm sitting on the outside looking in.
Let me in.
So let's talk about this idea of, is this the new? Well, I can't say that for sure, but it certainly is looking like that is the case. I remember when it was the clone trooper that went waitlist, and I said there is no way that the grunt stormtrooper, clone trooper that is out there, there's no way they're not going to have more of those. And as the months have gone on, it appears that that is very much the case. We've had all kinds of figures come and go. And you may be saying, wait, I thought these were going to come back in stock. And they never have. As you can see on the Sideshow website, there are loads of waitlist options for you to consider if you happen to miss out on the initial pre-order of this figure. So you have to ask yourself the question, is this the new? And if it is, what are you going to do about it to make sure that you get the figures and the collectibles that you want? So I want to do a quick deep dive into the idea of what waitlists are on Sideshow. Now, I've done this before, but I wanted to show you how you access it, how you can find out if a figure is waitlisted, and whether you can even put your name on the list, and what that means. So without further ado, let's jump over to Sideshow itself and take a look.
So here is the website Sideshow Collectibles. Most likely you're probably familiar with it, but this is where you can go and buy most, if any, and all collectibles that you would want. But let's take a look at this. This one says it's almost gone, which is a big indication that it's about to go waitlist. Low stock is remaining. So what do? If you want it, go ahead and add to the cart. Or if you want to take your chances, you can obviously wait to see if it goes waitlist. So let's take a look at waitlist, which is most likely the pre-release items. You can sort it by bestsellers to see what has been leaving the shelves. And obviously, a lot of these things are starting to disappear. But let's take a look at this Black Panther. I'm going to go ahead and join the waitlist. You click it, you wait for it to process once you have signed in, and you are officially on the waitlist, as you can see. And then at that point, it is a waiting game to see if your waitlist converts. And if it does, you'll get an email saying, congratulations, now is the time to purchase it. So make sure to log in and grab it if you're wanting that piece. Do some thinking and make the decision. Because if not, you could get the dreaded wait list full, which means you can't even join the wait list. And then you are stuck and are needing to find an alternate way to get these pieces.
Now, of course, this is all just speculation. However, if it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it might just be a dang duck. So if this is the new, what are the benefits and what are the cons of waitlisting? Let's start with the idea of the pros. Well, the thing is, as I showed you, if you want to add yourself to a waitlist, there's no harm in putting your name on it. It's as simple as saying, okay, here's a figure that I like, let me go ahead and join the waitlist. And boom, you are magically in the cloud of the queue, or however it works. Now, I will say there is no way to know if there's an actual queue. Like if you come in on a Tuesday and someone else comes in on a Friday with their waitlist, that the people that came in before you get first dibs. I don't know. We don't know that for sure. But all I know is that if you do join it, there's no harm because it's not you committing to buy anything yet. And I actually like this as an interesting strategy. If you said and you wavered and said, I'm not for 100% sure, but then it goes waitlist, if you go ahead and sign up, you have an opportunity to weigh your options. You start thinking, now that this is officially waitlisted, do I really want this figure? And there's this time of limbo, wondering whether or not it's going to convert or not. So during that time, you can say, you know what? I don't think that I really want it. And you can remove yourself off the wait list. And then you'll say, okay, I saved some money on a figure that I didn't really want. But on the flip side of that, you may be sitting there saying, man, this is one I really want. I see it's released. It's still not converted yet. What do I do? And it confirms with you that you really do want it. So yeah, go ahead and throw your name on the list. It's no harm, but in doing so, it doesn't cost you anything to do so as well. Another major benefit is that it gives collectors truly an opportunity to evaluate their collection and really put their money where their mouth is. Quite literally. If there's something that you say you can't live without and that waitlist converts, then sure, you now have the opportunity to know and say, wow, I officially am on the list. If I get this, I'm getting it. And that moment you put your deposit down or pay in full or join a payment plan if that is an option. And you can say, this is something that I truly wanted. And the best part about all of this is that you start thinking, when something goes up for pre-order, maybe it's your favorite character, maybe it's your favorite version of a character, and you say, this is the one I've always wanted. But you've seen the track record of certain figures going waitlist before they ever come in stock and never coming back. You can say, I know now that I do not want to miss that figure and I am going to sign up. It allows you an opportunity, knowing that the existence of it disappearing forever is out there. It really puts your butt in gear and says, okay, I'm going to be serious about this. I'm only going to collect the pieces that I want and are important to me. Don't fill your collection with things just that are out there, but maybe these wait lists will give you an opportunity to stop and say, why am I getting this? Do I really want it? Now that I've missed out on some things, maybe I can refine my collection to be exactly the way that I want it to be and not somebody else's. So what are some of the cons of a waitlist? Well, the biggest one that slaps you right in the face is you saying, oh no, this never converted. And you may never actually get the figure. What a terrible thing. Something that you truly wanted, you thought about it, maybe you didn't have the money at the time, maybe you weren't decided on it at the time, but you decided that you did want it and you wanted your name on that list, but it never converted and you officially miss out. Now that is a terrible place to be. But with that being said, I know people will say, Sideshow's not the only place for you to get these things. I get that. But I wanted to say that that is the safest place for you to go and get some of these pieces. And if you missed out on the safest option, yeah, that kind of stinks. Because if you do miss out on a figure, it's waitlisted, your waitlist never converts, and you still say, I want this, I need this piece, you know what that means? It means most likely you will have to pay a premium. Shake my head. What a terrible thing. You may have to pay more for the figure that you wanted when you could have just got it on pre-order at that time. That is definitely a con, because if you end up finding something that you really want and it's gone and never comes back, most likely you will have to pay more for it. Either going through a reseller or going through a buy-sell trade, whether it's Reddit, Facebook, eBay, any of those different places, you may have to pay a premium for something that is now limited in people's eyes. But if it's something you really want, it should push you to go and get it no matter what. But the one piece of advice I would love to give you, and I hope that you actually listen to, is that when you have your waitlist not convert, that means you are not getting it from Sideshow or an authorized dealer, you say, okay, where am I looking now? Please do your research and find a safe and legitimate place to get it, because that is a double punch in the balls if you miss out on it the first time through the authorized way, and then you go through some sketchy site hoping to save a little bit of money or something along those lines, and you miss out on that too. Maybe it comes damaged. Maybe it does not actually get to you and they just take your money and run. I forbid all those things, and I push it into the universe that does not happen to you, but it does. That is the reality of things. And those are the cons of missing out on the waitlist. So maybe this is an opportunity to really shake collectors to their core, to really get us to decide, what pieces do I want? And what are some things that I cannot truly miss out on? And how do I make sure that I don't? And this would not be an apology tour if I wasn't willing to put my own money where my mouth is. I wanted to show you that, hey, I messed up and I truly missed out on some things that I wanted. Would you like to pull behind the curtain and take a look at my waitlists? Well, let's take a look.
Now, I'm not proud of it, but here is my waitlist reservations. These are the things that I have been looking for to come back in stock, or for me to have the opportunity to pre-order. As you can see, there's some on here that have been there a long time. That Arena Boba Fett has been on there quite a while. And there's some, like this, the Artist Edition Anakin, that may never convert, but just wanted to be honest and transparent.
So in closing, that is the question that I would like to pose to you. Let me know down below if this is the new, because we can't have retailers just continuing to sit on stock that doesn't sell. It makes sense, right? They decided that, hey, we're tired of losing money. We're not over ordering. If you want these things, let us know in advance. Be proactive about that. So let me know if you think this is the way it's going to be moving forward, and what you are going to do to make sure that you get the figure that you want. And if that's being said, I showed some transparency, I showed some things that I missed out on. Would you be willing to let me know some things that you thought that you were going to be able to get and convert and it never did? Let me know down below on the thing that you cannot live without and is now waitlisted. I would certainly appreciate it if you did. Well, as I said, that's going to do it for us here today. I hope you enjoyed this content. I hope you enjoyed my apology and letting you know that, hey, things are going to be different now for me. And I hope you've learned a couple things as well and allowed you to stop and think on ways that you can become a more successful and thoughtful collector yourself. If you've not yet subscribed to this channel, please join me. We have a lot of fun. I would certainly appreciate it if you did. So until then, I will be seeing you in our next video.